Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mindful Weekend Yoga from Inverness this morning, which is about an hour and a half from my house and lovely. So hopefully you can see a peek outside the window. We're going to do indoor-outdoor yoga this morning because it's actually a little bit chilly. So this morning we're going to focus on the breath and energy, and the breath as a way of moving and shifting energy and as a form of medicine and healing and a life force as we teach in yoga. So find a comfortable seat. If you have a block or a blanket, they had a lovely blanket here, so I'm going to use it instead of a block today. So to sort of demo for some of you how to use that. So find a comfortable seat, sit up atop something so your hips are a little bit above your knees. And if they're not with the blanket, you can fold it even more or sit up atop a block also. The intent is to have your hip flexors open. So relaxing the knees lower than the hips, releasing the front of those hip flexors that stay tight all day long as we sit in our normal lives and drive in our normal lives. So using this practice as a way to release them. And today we'll focus on the breath. And so I invite you to settle on your mat, wherever you might be in the world. Connecting your ischial spines or the sit bones downward into the earth and taking a moment to ground the energy downward, finding stability and a place of rest. Even as we move, we will be resting at the same time. And tilt your pelvic bowl gently forward. Stack the spine up one vertebrae at a time, all the way up through your neck to the crown of your head. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Stretch tall, tall, tall towards whatever kind of sky you have, wherever you are. And take in a huge, deep inhale through your nose. And an exhale through your mouth. And enjoy the flow of the air through your nose and out your mouth. Notice even with two breaths, how perhaps you have a little tingle in your fingers and a little more spaciousness in your chest. Take in another breath of air, of oxygen, bringing it into the cells, into your body, flowing in through your nose. And on the exhale, visualize everything leaving that you don't need, that you don't want, releasing, lightening, letting go. And pause for a moment here in stillness. Your breath can go back to its normal pattern. And just notice how you feel. Even a few deep breaths changes energy, heals, even restores. So many of us don't take deep breaths during the day. And so I invite you today to nourish yourself with breath. Take deeper breaths than usual and enjoy the breath and notice how it moves through you. We'll start with a kind of a breath called samavriti, which is equal parts breath. We'll breathe in and out the same length. So we'll breathe in for a count of 4. Ready? Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And pause for 4, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And pause for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once again, breathe in for 4. Pause for 4. Breathe out for 4. And pause for 4. Notice how you feel. Now that's a very intentional equal parts breath. Now take a few breaths where you breathe in the same length of time and the same depth as you breathe out. And use your mind to notice how that feels. So we'll breathe in and out. Match the inhale and the exhale. Breathe in and out. And pause once again. Notice how you feel. Let your breath go back to its normal pattern. Perhaps even notice that you feel a little tired after all that focused breathing, and that though we're always breathing, we often don't notice or pay attention. So how can you use the breath as an act of kindness? I like to say your breath is always available to you, and use it in a way that nourishes you, heals you, as a medicine, as a healing balm, as a salve for your soul. Can shift not only the energy in the cells, but the energy of you and your mindset. So use the breath as a tool. Once again, take in a long, deep, nourishing inhale, filling yourself up with kindness, compassion, nourishment, love, caring. And a huge exhale, let things go. Bring a hand to heart and invite the breath into that pocket behind your heart. With just intention, not a deep intentional breath, just sending the breath there as you breathe normally. Notice the rise and fall of your chest here. And bring a hand to belly. Notice the rise and fall of your belly with the breath. And direct your attention back to your hips. Connect to the earth underneath you once again, to where you are on this planet. Strong, stable world beneath. Connect those sit bones downward and lengthen the spine once again. Realign all the way up through your spine, through the top of your head. Stacking each vertebrae one atop the other, aligned and easeful, taking much less energy when you're aligned and peaceful. Take in a deep, nourishing breath here, all the way into the belly. Feel the belly rise. And a huge cleansing out breath. And pause, check in. A moment to be with yourself here in this moment. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together, finger pads touch. Rub the skin to skin and enjoy it. Notice how good it feels. Each finger pad, one against the other. Gift yourself that energy of motion and skin to skin contact. Connect the thumbs together with intention. Press the thumbs into your sternum firmly. Elbows out wide. Take in a cleansing in breath. A cleansing out breath. And I invite you to choose an intention for your practice today, and perhaps incorporate the breath into that intention. How might you like to change how you breathe? Where in your life do you hold your breath? Do you not take a breath? Are you not able to breathe deeply? What does the breath tell you and teach you about your life, and perhaps what you might need to or want to change? Take a moment to reflect here on what you can learn from the breath and what you might want to shift. And when you're ready, slowly lower your hands and open your eyes if they're closed, and take a moment to accommodate, a moment to adjust, to transition back into a more awake and present moment, more engaged. Focus your energy on your belly. Inhale the arms up towards the sky, palms come together. Finger pads touch once again. Reach those fingers towards the sky, palms together. Engage your belly and the side body. Point your fingers and point your index fingers, interlace all the other fingers. Reach tall, 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 lengthening both side bodies. Take a deep inhale, stretch tall, tall, tall. And exhale, lower your shoulders. Allow yourself to relax slightly. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Shoot the energy upwards towards the sky. Exhale, tip gently towards the right. It'll be slight here. Protect your back, protect your spine. Take an inhale, stretch the pointer fingers towards the right. Exhale, release. Come back to center. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall once again. Exhale, tip towards the left this time. Whole right side body stretches with strength. And exhale. Inhale, point the fingers tall towards the left side. Everything engaged. Exhale, let it go. Come back to center. Release your hands. Drop the right palm onto the earth. Press it downward. Bend the right elbow and stretch the left arm gracefully over the left ear. Stretch the whole left side body here and enjoy it. Exhale, release. Inhale into every nook and cranny. Bathe the cells. Shift the energy. And exhale, gaze over the left shoulder if you wish, releasing the breath over the left shoulder, out and gone, letting things go. Press into the right hand, reach up tall towards the sky. Exhale, left hand drops onto the earth. Ground your right hip downward. Reach the right arm over the right ear gracefully. Stretch tall and long. Breathe into it. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, stretch the fingers long, fill every nook and cranny, bathe every cell with the breath. Shift the energy. And exhale, breathe out over the right shoulder if it works for your neck. Gaze upward, let it go. Floating away all the tension, stress, stuff you don't want, whatever it is, energy you don't want. One more inhale here. And an exhale, twist a tiny bit more towards the right, releasing over that right shoulder. Press into the left hand, reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, lower your arms to your sacrum, reclasp your fingers, shoot the fists towards the earth, extend your elbows, puff your chest out. Inhale deeply into the chest space behind the heart here. Bathe all the cells in the back of the chest. And exhale, shift the energy. Let go of the negative, old, stale, tired. Another huge inhale. As you press your fists towards the earth, shoulders down and back, fill the chest, every nook and cranny. Bathed, and exhale, release, letting things go, energy shifting. Relax your hands by your sides and take a moment to notice how you feel. The breath is a tremendous energy shifter, and though we haven't moved yet, you may even feel tired. I would recommend taking out whatever you're sitting on. If it's high, if you're on a blanket, go ahead and keep it. Stretch your legs out long in front of you. Move the flesh of the seat out of the way. Connect those sit bones, ground them downward into the earth. Ankles are flexed, toes are flexed towards your nose. Engage your belly once again. Draw your attention to that belly. Take a long, deep inhale, filling up the belly, letting it puff out. And a huge exhale. Draw your attention to your toes. Spread them all 10 toes wide, 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 collecting in energy, drawing in energy up through your feet, up through your legs, into that belly space also. And release the toes. Engage your belly. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Spread your fingers, all 10 fingers wide, and wiggle them up in the sky. Engage the belly. Exhale, fold forward, release the breath, and allow your fingers to reach towards your toes, ankles, knees, wherever they land. And let the head and neck fall towards your knees. Notice the release and shift in the backs of the legs. Breathe into it with kindness. And exhale, let it go. One more deep cleansing breath into all those pockets of the backs of the legs that might be calling out here, sending you a message. And exhale, use the breath. Slowly walk up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Engage that belly, sit up tall. Inhale, puff the chest out once again. Exhale, release. Spread your legs wide into a wide angle pose. If you're on a blanket, tip yourself so you're on the very edge of it. Hinge at the waist, and you'll begin to fold forward. Walk your hands forward. Legs are straight. Knees can be bent or straight. Ankles flexed, toes flexed in line with your knees. Belly is engaged. Walk those fingers forward, inch by inch by inch, and notice the shift and release in the back of the legs here also. Breathe into it fully. Exhale, release. Use the breath for you here. Send it to pockets of tightness, pockets of resistance that may be in the legs, or maybe you notice them in the chest. Allow your attention to go. Where is that pocket? And how can you use the breath to let it go? Exhale, release. Spread the toes wide, wide, wide here. Wiggle them. Use the energy coming in through the toes as a strategy, and release. Walk your hands back up towards your groin. Sit up nice and tall. Take your hands to the outer edges of your legs. Draw the soles of your feet together, knees apart, coming into butterfly pose, pardon me. Once again, ground those sit bones, rock side to side, connect the sit bones downward. If you're on a blanket, sit on the edge. Hands come to your ankles, engage your belly, sit up tall, puff the chest out forward. Take in a deep inhale here. And an exhale, release. Another long, deep, smooth inhale. Puffing the chest out, draw the heels towards you, allowing the energy in the groin to release with the breath. Release your hands. Stretch your legs out long in front. Sweep them alongside and come into hands and knees. You can use the blanket to protect your knees if the floor is unkind to your knees. And notice if that would be kind. Hands will be directly under your shoulders. Take a moment here to treat yourself well. Tabletop position. Tops of the feet graze the floor. Knees, hips width, even. Hips are even, so straight across, not tilted or wonky. Arms fully engaged, all 10 fingers press into the earth, palms press into the earth. Humeral heads in the shoulder sockets. Take in an inhale, arch your spine, reach the crown of your head towards the sky, sit bones towards the sky. Enjoy the spine stretch and the belly stretch here. Exhale, round and suck that navel all the way up towards the sky, head and neck drop. Inhale, arch, round, crown of the head reaches towards the sky, sit bones reach towards the sky. Exhale, round, suck your navel up. Use the breath here to help you move the spine perhaps more fully than you ever do. Inhale, arch into cow pose. Stick those sit bones high, 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 crown of the head, high. Notice the stretch in the front of the belly, maybe in the pelvis. Exhale, round, and suck your navel all the way up towards the sky. High, high, high. Head and neck release. Come back to tabletop. Extend your right leg long behind. Drop the heel towards the floor. Twist towards the right. Reach your right arm up. Come into gate pose. Right hand reaches towards the sky. Outer edge of the right foot grounding into the earth. If you wish, exhale the right arm over the right ear, stretch long. And if you wish, you can raise your right foot up towards the hip height, if it works for you. Reach your arm back up towards the sky, lower it down, come back to tabletop position. Take a minute to even yourself out. Extend your right leg long, left leg long, pardon me. Drop your heel. Reach the left arm up towards the sky, tall, tall, tall as you can here. If you wish, drop the left arm over the left ear, extend the whole left side body. Use the breath here to breathe into every nook and cranny. And exhale, let it go. Reach the left arm up towards the sky. Come back to hands and knees, bend the knee, even yourself out. Sink your hips back, come into child's pose. Hips drop down and low towards the heels. Wiggle your fingers as far forward as you can. Lower your forehead to the earth. If that feels too far, you can take a block and use the forehead, use it to support the forehead. Wiggle those fingers as far forward as you can. Enjoy the stretch in the side body. Use the breath here, sending it into the groin area, into the heart, which is hanging differently in gravity here. 5 deep cleansing breaths here, healing breaths, energy shifting breaths. Use this pause for you. Two more breaths here. Slowly transition back to hands and knees. And we'll walk our hands forward and shift up into downward dog. Hips reach high. Lift up high on your tiptoes if that works for you. As high as you can. Press into your hands. Reach the sit bones as high as you can to the apex. Notice how it feels. Press into your hands. Press up and back. Everything lengthening, stretching. Use the breath to hit all the pockets that are stretching and tight here. Breathe into it. And exhale, really let it go here. Inhale, lift high, high, high onto your tiptoes. Exhale, lower your heels towards the earth and just notice the tension. Bend the left knee, press the right heel towards the floor. Bend the right knee, press the left heel towards the floor. Lift up high onto those tiptoes again and slowly walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. And take a minute here to enjoy. You may want to widen your stance, bend your knees. Allow your hands to graze the floor. If they don't graze the floor, bend your knees more. One hand to opposite elbow and allow your head and neck to release completely here. Lower back, let's go. Use your belly for strength. Notice the soles of your feet on the earth. Press all 10 toes into the earth. Notice how that feels. Shift your weight into your heels slightly. Back to center, to the left slightly, to the right slightly. Come back to center. Lower your hands, engage your belly, and slowly roll up inch by inch by inch by inch. Head will be the last to rise. Notice how you feel. Take a moment here to adjust, accommodate, transition. Feel the blood move through you. Allow the breath to slow down and bathe every cell. Perhaps wiggle your fingers. Notice how that changes and shifts, and enjoy it. On the inhale, stretch all 10 fingers wide, 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 palms open towards the front. And exhale, bring your hands back to resting. Once again, inhale, stretch all 10 fingers wide as you can towards the floor. And exhale, let it go. Open your arms out and up towards the sky. Right thumb and middle finger will grab the left wrist. Ground the left hip downward. Engage your belly. Tip gently towards the right side. Tug the whole left side body and enjoy it. Exhale, release. Inhale, tug that left hand a little bit farther towards the right. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder, if it works for your neck, and release. Bring your head, gaze back to center, come back to center. Switch the clasp of your hands. Left thumb and middle finger grasp the right wrist, stretch tall. Inhale, exhale, Tip gently towards the left side, pardon me. Right foot grounds downward, whole right side body stretches, and enjoy it. Exhale, release. One more deep inhale here. Tug the right hand gently towards the left. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder if it works for your head and neck, and release out, letting the stress blow away on the breath. Gaze back to center, reach your hands back to center, allow your arms to open out and down towards the side. Roll your shoulders here 3 times, releasing all the tightness, nooks, tension, and roll them forward 3 times, bathing them fully here. Lower your hands towards the earth, palms open towards the front. Tadasana or mountain pose. Lift up all 10 toes, spread them wide, lower them down. Engage your knees, your thighs, tuck your pelvis, gauge your belly, stack your spine, vertebrae upon vertebrae, one atop the other, like a string of pearls, all the way through the neck to the crown of the head. Inhale, drop your shoulders, let it go. One more deep inhale here, strong mountain pose, everything engaged. Exhale, release, and let it go. We come into tree pose. Left foot grounds into the earth. Lift up all 10 toes, lower them down. Kickstand your right foot onto the left thigh. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together. Raise the sole of that right foot to the calf and pause. If you wish, take your right hand, grab the ankle, and bring it into the inner thigh. Notice what works for you here, and bring your hands back to heart center. Any pose is fine. Make sure the sole of the foot is not over the knee joint to protect it. And pause here, balanced, graceful. Use the breath. If you wobble, relax in. Cleansing breaths into the chest here, even as your left leg works and your toes work. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach both arms like branches up towards the sky if that works for you and feels right. If not, leave them together. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale, energy in through the fingers, shifting down through the arms into the belly. Exhale, release, letting things go out through those fingers. Bring your hands back to center. Thumbs connect. Draw your knee back to the front. Lower it down, shake it out, roll the ankles with kindness. Notice any tight, tense spots that might need bathing here. And when you're ready, ground the right foot into the earth. Lift up all 10 toes, lower them down. Kickstand the left heel to the right thigh. Raise the sole of the foot to calf height. If you wish, left hand grabs the left ankle and bring it into the left thigh. Make sure your sole of the foot is not over the knee joint. And if it doesn't want to be that high, just keep it low. Soles of the feet, palms together, pardon me. Thumbs connect to the sternum. Take in a deep inhale right into where the thumbs connect into the sternum. Exhale, use the breath to let things go. Inhale, reach both arms up, tree branches, spread your fingers wide, 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 and enjoy it. Use the breath to shift the energy here, in and out through those fingers, reaching towards the sky and the light above. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands back to heart center. Turn your knee back towards the front, lower it down, shake it out, roll it out, whatever you need to do, and enjoy it. Hands still at heart center. Take an inhale and an exhale. Lower your hands out and up by your sides. Slowly fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, spine straight, sit bones reach up towards the sky. Legs are straight here. Spine is straight, crown of the head reaches forward. Lots of stretching and shifting. Exhale, forward fold. Release. Inhale for a half lift. Once again, sit bones stick back, back is flat, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands forward into a downward dog. And pause for a moment here. Notice how you feel. Notice the stretch in the backs of the legs, moving slower today. Send the breath into the pocket behind the heart. Exhale, let it go. Another inhale, bathing all the cells with oxygen, fresh air, revitalizing, rejuvenating through the breath. And exhale, let it go. Engage your belly and raise your right leg up towards the sky, coming into a three-legged dog. Heel will press directly back towards the back wall. Hips are square towards the front. Exhale, gently bring the foot between the hands, coming into a low lunge. Wiggle it forward, as far forward as need be. You likely want to shimmy your back knee back a little bit. Engage your belly and slowly rise up. Low lunge. Take a minute here to accommodate. Pay attention to the transitions. Tack that right hip back gently. Left hip smidges forward. Both arms reach towards the sky, palms face one another, side body fully engaged. Inhale, use the breath here to help you organize. And exhale, sink in and release. Inhale, breathe into the front of that left hip flexor. And exhale, let the tension nudge loose. If you wish, bring your hands to heart center, hinge at the waist, fold forward halfway, hook your left elbow onto the right knee, coming into a low lunge twist. If this doesn't feel good, bring your left hand to the floor, right hand towards the sky, or stay upright. Everyone's body is a little bit different here. Take in a breath in this twist. Notice the shifting tension, shifting release here. One more breath. Come back to center, rise upright. Lower your hands towards the earth. Straighten the right leg. Come back into a half split. If you have blocks here, you can use them. If you don't, lower your hands. Just walk them back by your knee. Right leg is straight, toes flex towards your nose. Enjoy the stretch. Use the breath here to bathe the tension, shift the energy. Let go. Breathe in the nourishment, oxygen, energy. And notice on the out breath what happens. Another inhale here. And exhale, release and enjoy. Shift back forward. You'll bend the right knee. Curl the back toes, straighten the back leg, come up into a high lunge. Widen your stance a little bit, right foot inches towards the outer edge of the mat, left foot a little bit wider, a nice lane between you. Engage your belly, rise up to a high lunge. Exhale, sink into your hips here in a high lunge. Breathe into it. Just 2 breaths here. Notice the different stretch in the front of the left hip flexor and enjoy it. One more breath. Exhale, let it go. Lower your hands to the outside of the right foot. Hop the back foot forward. Come into an easy pyramid pose. 2 breaths here. Release the back of the right leg. Use the breath as your friend. Step the back foot forward to meet the front foot. Sink your hips back down and low. Come into chair pose. Hands come to heart center. Sink down and low, breathe into it. One more breath. Exhale, fold forward, lower down. Engage your belly, roll up to stand. Inch by inch by inch. Notice how you feel when you arrive. Just take a moment here, once again, to adjust. Realize I'm off the screen. Arms out and up once again. Reach the palms towards the sky. Slight arch back, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, spine straight, crown of the head reaches forward, back is straight. Exhale, forward fold. This time, step your feet back towards the back of the mat. Come into downward dog and pause once again. Use the breath here to find your stability. Palms ground into the earth, fingers spread wide. Humeral heads tucked into the shoulders, hips reach towards the sky. Tops of the balls of the feet ground downward. Inhale into the chest and exhale. Raise your left foot towards the sky. Sole of the foot presses back into the back wall. Hips are even and square. Exhale, gently bring your foot between your hands. Come into a low lunge on this side. Take a moment here to get organized. Use the breath. Move slowly. The transitions are as important as the pose. Tack the left hip back. Right hip gently forward. Notice what happens in the front of the right hip flexor. Wiggle the left toes forward if you need, so the knee does not extend beyond the ankle. Engage the side body. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, sink into the hips and enjoy. Once again, inhale, reach tall, 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 lengthening everything. And exhale, sink into it a little bit more. You can stay here or bring your hands to heart center. Hinge at the waist, fold forward, hook the right elbow over the left knee, coming into a low lunge twist on this side. If that's too much, just stay upright. Another deep breath here. You can also have your right hand on the earth, left fingers reach towards the sky, whatever works for you. Bring your hands back to heart center. Rise upright into a low lunge. Lower your hands on either side of your knee. Straight the left leg. Bring your toes towards your knee. Come into a half splits here and enjoy the stretch in the back of your thigh. Allow it to feel good. Perhaps wiggle those left toes with kindness. Left leg is straight. Breathe into all the tightness in the back of the left leg. And exhale, shift the energy, shift the tension, let it go. Send it away. Exhale, release, send it away. Shift your toes forward. Curl the back toes, lift up into a high lunge, widen your stance, left foot comes towards the outer edge of the mat, right foot spreads wider, a nice wide base. Engage your belly, rise up into a high lunge here. Exhale, sink in and enjoy that different stretch in the front of the right hip. Notice how it feels. Inhale, stretch tall, exhale, sink in gently. One more breath here, just enjoying. Fold your hands on either side of the left foot. Pop the back foot forward, a footprint or two. Come into an easy pyramid pose on this side and enjoy it. Tack the left hip back, right hip forward. Notice how it shifts the tension. Use the breath Sending it to every nook and cranny in the back of the left leg, enjoying it. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Step the back foot forward to meet the front foot. Sink your hips back down and low. Once again, come into chair pose. Hands can be at heart center this time or up by your ears, reaching towards the sky, whatever works for you. 2 breaths here. Sink those hips down and low. See if you can lift up all 10 toes here, grounding the 4 corners of your feet into the earth. Lower them down. Hands come back to heart center. Fold forward, forward fold. Release the head and neck. Engage your belly and slowly roll up to stand. Inch by inch by inch by inch. Head will be the last to rise. Take a moment here to adjust. Giving yourself the gift of accommodation. Going from the dark to the light or the floor to standing. We often don't give ourselves that moment of time to shift, and then we feel disorganized. So taking a moment to organize yourself can be a powerful tool. Scrunch your shoulders up to your ears. Draw them back towards the back of the mat and lower them down. Palms open towards the front. Deep inhale here into the back pocket behind the heart. And an exhale, release. Bring your arms out to shoulder height. Extend them wide. Palms can press into the side walls. Wrists are flexed. Pinch the scapula together here and release. Wrap your arms around you right under the left. Elbows connect, come into eagle arms, standing. Elbows will come to shoulder height. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up. As you inhale, send that breath into the tightness between the scapula. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, bring the elbows into the spot between the belly and the chest. Allow your head and neck to release forward. Notice the energy shift here. Use the breath, breathe into it here. Exhale, let it go. One more breath here. Head and neck releasing downward. Lots of tension flowing, shifting. Exhale, release. Inhale, raise your elbows up to shoulder height. Release the hands. Exhale, let the arms extend out towards the sides. Recross your arms, left under the right. Elbows connect. Palms connect or thumbs connect, whatever works for you for eagle pose. Inhale, lift those elbows to shoulder height and pause. Exhale. Inhale, lift them up an inch if you can, centimeters fine, a millimeter's fine. Lower to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up and enjoy the stretch here. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach up a smidge. Exhale, drop your elbows between your navel and your chest and allow your head and neck to fold forward, upper back releases. Use the breath here to breathe into the back body. Exhale, let it go. One more deep, smooth, nourishing inhale into every pocket of the back body here. Exhale, release, shifting the energy, letting things go with the breath out into the air and gone. Slowly rise up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, stretch them towards the sides. Lower your arms by your sides, roll them out in either direction, whichever one feels good, and then the opposite direction. We'll come back to transition to seated. And let's come into what is called double pigeon. Some of you will modify this quite a lot. Others will do the full pose. It doesn't matter. None is better than the other. The intent is to release the hips using the breath. So cross your legs easily. Draw your knees together close as you can. So Ideally, your knees are going to be hips width. The right ankle is going to be in front of the left knee. You may choose to stay here. You may choose to pick up the right ankle and place it atop the left knee if that works for you. For many of you, sitting like this is perfect. You'll notice a lovely release in the outer right hip. Some of you will notice it just with the ankle in front of the knee. And you want to do what releases, but is not overwhelming. So notice what that is for you. If you have your right ankle on the left knee, make sure your knees are not screaming at you. Hands can come to the earth in front of you, gently hinging at the waist, not rolling or folding forward, but hinging forward. And pause here. In whatever spot you are, tilt the pelvic bowl forward and spine is straight. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky or forward, chest is open, heart is light. Use the breath, send it to that outer right hip with kindness, letting things go, undoing the work of the week, the stress that may be there, the tightness. Breathe into it, nourish it, and bathe it with oxygen. And exhale, letting things go, just like cellular energy, using the breath to literally shift that ATP, get rid of all the cellular byproducts. One more breath there, visualizing that. And exhale, let it go. We'll untangle our feet, stretch them long in front. Take a moment to move the flesh of your seat out of the way with kindness. Knees will stay gently bent, ankles flex, toes flex towards your nose once again. Engage your belly, raise both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward gently, release the upper back, coming into an easy forward fold. If you wish, press your knees towards the floor. Use the breath here to bathe the backs of the legs. Exhale, release, and let go. Notice the evenness of the hips and the ischial spines here as well. Realigning. Exhale, release. Slowly walk up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. We'll recross the legs in the opposite position. So left ankle in front of the right knee, if that works for you. Draw the knees together here so they're tighter than a simple cross-leg position. Left ankle, you may pick it up and place it atop the right knee if that works for you. I recommend pausing here and notice the tension in the left hip butt area for most of us. If you're super flexy, bring your hands forward, hinge at the waist, spine is straight. Again, knees should not be crying out here. If they are crying out, loosen it up. Breathe into it. If all of this is too much for you, lie on your back and do a figure four. Breathe into that outer left hip, or you can opt out completely, whatever works for you. One more long, deep, nourishing breath here. And exhale, let it go. Gently untangle the legs, stretch them long, allow the knees to just bang towards the floor, releasing. From here, raise your arms to be parallel to the legs. Engage your belly and slowly roll down inch by inch by inch by inch until you land on the earth. And when you arrive, notice the earth underneath you. Notice it holding you, supporting you. Notice what of your body is connected to the earth. And notice your breath once again. Have you been holding it? If you draw your attention to it, what does it do naturally? Flip your palms to face the floor. Bend your knees, soles of the feet come towards your hips. Press into your hands, press into your feet. Shift your hips up towards the sky, coming into an easy bridge pose. If you want, shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Grab the outer edges of your mat and tug them towards your heels. Draw the breath into the chest here, into that pocket behind the heart that's hanging. Use the breath here to create space in the chest now. Inhale deeply with intention, creating space. As you inhale, lift the hips up higher, draw the knees together. Exhale, stay high, send the breath out. Inhale, reach up, 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 up. Fill the breath, every nook and cranny of the chest filled fully, creating space for that heart to fill in diastole with kindness. And exhale, untuck the shoulders, slowly lower the hips towards the floor and arrive. Allow yourself to notice what happens when you arrive, what lets go, what releases. Draw your knees into your chest and hug them tight. Roll side to side, massage the sacrum. Notice your breath here. Did you hold it once again? And remember to breathe. An invitation to notice how often in your day you hold your breath. And an invitation to, with intention, remember to breathe. Come into happy baby. Hands come to the outer edges of your feet. Soles of the feet reach towards the sky. Press the knees towards the floor, opening the groin. Send the breath into that groin area and breathe here. Rock side to side, but remember to breathe. Bring the soles of your feet together. Press the heels in towards your groin and breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Adjust your arms if your chest is in the way with kindness. One more deep, nourishing, cleansing breath here into the groin area, the chest area. What in your body is calling out for the breath? Where does the energy shifting need to happen? Maybe it's in your head, maybe it's in your chest, maybe it's in your belly or your groin or your feet. Release your hands, lower your feet towards the earth, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly. Knees apart, soles together. The diamond shape between your legs can be small or large, whatever your legs and your body desire. With intention, place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart and check in with yourself here. Notice if you feel different than when you began. Notice what's different. Notice if there are any other spots in your body that need the breath or need some attention. And send the breath there. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs. Draw your knees together, soles of the feet still on the earth. Palms on the earth. Pick up your hips. Shift them 2 inches towards the right. Draw your knees into your chest and allow them to fall towards the left easily. Left hand can rest atop the right thigh. Right hand can stay alongside or come up into an easy cactus shape if that works for your shoulders. Take a deep inhale into the chest and waist here. On the exhale, if you wish, gaze towards the right. Bring your gaze back to center. Release that left hand. Bring your knees back to center. Pick up your hips and shift them 4 inches to the left. Draw your knees into your chest once again and allow them to fall towards the right this time. Hips should be stacked. If you've come out of alignment, realign. Right hand rests easily on the left thigh. If that doesn't work, just on the floor. And right hand alongside, easy cactus shape or a T, depending on your shoulder. And no judgment. Whatever works on this side. Your shoulders may be different. One may feel better than the other. We are not perfectly matched human side to side. So notice if your twist is different, your arm position is different. And breathe into that upper waist area, to the hip, into the chest here. Noticing that little spots around the heart are open here, ready for the breath to bathe them. Send the breath to all the little pockets opening up here in this position. And release. If you wish, gaze to the left. Bring your gaze back to center. Release your right hand. Bring your knees back to center. Lift your hips up, reorganize those hips so they're centered. Reorganize your shoulders so they're centered and comfortable. Extend your legs long on the mat. Soles of the feet fall gently towards the outer front corner of the mat. Flip your palms over towards the sky and allow yourself to come into Shavasana, final resting pose. In this position, we let the body breathe for itself. Our body knows how to breathe, and it does when we are in full relaxation without any conscious control of the breath. So notice how your body has fallen into its pattern of breathing, the way it cares for you when you are caring for you. Allow the earth to hold you here, to sink in, to fully experience this moment, a few moments of complete rest, restoration. And the most powerful energy shifting of all can occur when we are just being here in this rest. So notice it, enjoy it, and allow it. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take in a long, deep, nourishing, cleansing inhale. You can raise your arms above your head if that feels good, filling every nook and cranny, perhaps stretching your fingers long, your toes long in front. And a huge cleansing exhale. Gently and with compassion, bring your knees into your chest and roll over to one side, moving slowly here. the transition even more important than where you arrive. And pause in a fetal-like position, arms as a kind pillow for your head and neck. And take a moment to thank yourself for taking this time to breathe today. Take a moment perhaps to set an intention about how you might like to bring the breath into your life this week. Where do you need to breathe more? Where do you hold your breath? What are the tasks and part of life that cause you to hold your breath? And perhaps do you need to make a change or a shift? Or perhaps just to relax in and use the breath to help you move through them. When you're ready, gently press into your hands and come up to a comfortable seat where we began. Allow yourself to sink right back into that delicious Shavasana feeling, seated. Notice your sit bones connect to the earth underneath. Tilt your pelvis forward and align your spine, each vertebrae one atop the other. Notice perhaps if this is easier now in this different, more calm neurologic state. Bring a hand to heart, bring another hand to top. Take a moment to check in with yourself. Notice them rise and fall with the breath. Notice how you feel. And bring your hands to heart. Palms together, finger pads touch, thumbs connect to the sternum. Take a moment to set an intention for the week. Perhaps an intention to breathe more, or do more of the things where you can breathe and less of the things that cause you to hold your breath and feel like you can't breathe. What is a tiny slight shift you can make in the week ahead? Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all enjoy deep breaths, lots of fresh air, and be safe and well. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.